Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, says he wants to speak to Danish officials about acquiring Greenland. That news broke as I was waiting for an interview with Lithuania's President Gitanas Nausėda, and I played in the clip, got his reaction, and asked him whether he's worried that the Baltics could be next. President, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you. I know we're pressed for time, but I still want to play you something that Marco Rubio said over the past hour on Greenland. And I would like to ask you to react to it, okay?
Mr. Secretary, on Denmark, why has the administration not taken Denmark's offer to discuss the situation in Greenland? And
I'll be meeting with them next week.
But will you take military intervention off the table?
I'm not here to talk about Denmark or military intervention. I'll be meeting with them next week. We'll have those conversations with them then. And but I'm not having anything further to add to that today.
Can you clarify your comments to lawmakers? Does the U.S. intend to buy Greenland? Does the U.S. intend to buy Greenland? Can you clarify your comments to lawmakers this week?
Well, that's always been the president's intent from the very beginning. He said it very early on. I mean, this is not new. He talked about it in his first term, and he's not the first U.S. president that is examined or looked at how could we acquire Greenland. There's an interest.
Yeah, so I'll just dive right in there, President. I just played to you that Marco Rubio spoke of meeting with Danish officials next week on Greenland. What's your first reaction to that, and does that make you feel that Lithuania could be next?
I don't think it will happen, and of course all the disagreements or different approaches could be solved sitting at the table and to try to consult each other. And of course Greenland is a very important factor of geopolitical stability and Arctic stability, and we should avoid any kind of disagreements between the close partners within the NATO. Lithuania's position is very clear that Greenland is a part of Denmark, and we stand in full solidarity with our European Union member. But I also admit that they are vital geopolitical and economic interests there, and the United States can have some interests and can implement some projects in the Greenland together with Europeans. Why not?
Now, the United States already has military bases, of course, in Greenland. It has access to Greenland. Mette Frederiksen, the Danish Prime Minister, said that essentially NATO would be over if the United States decided to simply take over Greenland. Do you agree with that?
It would be extremely difficult to imagine that one NATO member takes the territory from the other NATO member. For me, it's impossible to imagine such situations, so I think we will avoid this kind of critical scenarios.
Okay, very diplomatic answer there. So many things have happened just in this year, which is only a week old, not even, that were previously unimaginable. Let's stick with the immediate threat that Europe is facing. You were in Paris at the E3 meeting. There were security guarantees made by European partners, also by the United States. And we heard from Volodymyr Zelensky, who feels that they will not be sufficient. How much more do you think the European partners have to give?
We should understand that all the guarantees we are providing now will come into force only when the ceasefire and the peace is achieved. So far we are not there. The peace plan, which was already presented, 20 points peace plan, is we don't see the articulated reaction from the side of Russia. If Russia will not accept this plan, then all the security guarantees, all other issues will remain in the pipeline because they will not come into the reality. But on in the field of security guarantees, we made big step forward. I understand the position of President Zelensky because he needs more concrete figures, capabilities. At this stage, we are not able to provide these figures and capabilities because we are still not there. But in the coming weeks, the charts and military personnel, military leaders will sit down at the table again and will elaborate this issue. And I think they will have much more concrete results in coming weeks.
Now, Germany has committed a whole brigade to Lithuania, which is currently being built up in your country. At the same time, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says he will provide troops, but wouldn't guarantee that they can actually enter Ukrainian territory for now. That's for constitutional reasons. But how concerned are you that Germany might be stretched between its commitment to your country and to Ukraine?
I think we have already dedicated 45th Armored Brigade for Lithuania, and we see the capabilities, we see the armed forces. The part of these forces is already deployed in Lithuania. Yes, we are hardly working in order to implement and to build all the necessary accommodation and also training infrastructure in my country. And we are ready to welcome the full-scale brigade by the end of 2027, because all the procedures are going smoothly. We are not going behind the plan. We are, in some cases, even ahead of the plan. I think Germany is trusted partner. We believe that all the promises which were made in the past will be implemented and will come into force. And we highly enjoy this close cooperation, not only in the military field, but also in the economy, in military industry, because recently we inaugurated the start of the construction of Rheinmetall company in Lithuania. The memorandum of understanding was signed, also referring to the propellant production in Lithuania. So all these cases show that mutual understanding and cooperation are at the highest points right now between Lithuania and Germany.
Lithuania is one of those countries that raised the alarm very early on about Russia. That's while Germany was still engaged in the Nord Stream 2 pipeline project. Can you just map out to me how Germany changed into the partner that you're now praising today?
Oh, I see the chronology, let's say, starting from the first weeks when the war broke out in Ukraine. I remember my visit to Berlin together with former Prime Minister of Poland, Mr. Morawiecki. And at that time, the first demonstration, exactly that day I visited Berlin, was about 1,000 people standing in front of Russian embassy. Next day, 100,000 people stand there in front of Russian embassy protesting against the war in Ukraine. And I think this was really Zeitenwende in Germany. And now, here we are. We have Germany, close partner, being on the board, taking the leadership, which is highly needed right now. Somebody has to take the leadership, and of course, I am happy to see that Germany is taking this leadership in the military field, presenting the views which are very close to our views. Lithuania was always very realistic about the true intentions of Russia in our region. And we never had the illusions about appeasement or some telephone talks with Kremlin's dictator. And I think that our partners now understand. And I think the war in Ukraine was the first wake-up call for everybody, for every country of European Union. And it brings more solidarity, more mutual understanding in European Union, and I think it will help to take the decisions in the future.
Just one final question. How much responsibility hinges on the German Chancellor himself, with a French president who's facing a time where he no longer has control of his own parliament, and Britain having its own struggles?
This is not about a competition of the leaders. I think this is about going together, actually, because it's very important to understand that we should not take the focus from each other. We have to present the same views, the same principles, and for me, those are the principles of territorial sovereignty and respect to the freedom of nations. And it was attacked brutally in Ukraine in 2022. And we have to restore the peace. We have to strengthen the position of Ukraine in the process of negotiations. And unfortunately, I have to say that it is possible only through the strength. Because as you see, Russia is negotiating with the guns, not with diplomatic maneuvers or language. They are negotiating with the guns, even right now attacking Ukrainian cities, destroying the infrastructure, making the life of Ukrainian people impossible without electricity, without any other possibilities. And this is very important that we stand together, we support Ukraine, and I hope that it will bring the peace to Ukraine.
President Nausėda, thank you very much for speaking to Deutsche Welle.
Thank you.